So from one flavor to the next, I did orange pineapple, and now I'm going to do another ice. I'm going to do pink champagne lemonade sorbet. So they're still a sorbet. It's still close to what I was doing, so I don't have to do a lot of rinsing to the machine. So I'm going to hand out the formula. Okay, this is a real easy one. 2 bottles of sparkling wine. I'm told these pop when they go off.
They're all easy.
I have to get Christy to assist me on this for a minute. Lemonade powder, strawberries, and 2 pounds of sugar. I'll be right back. I'm going to get my...
Want me to entertain them?
Hey, Christy. I'm sorry. I need your help.
So what about that grape nuts ice cream?
It's not.
You liked it?
Yeah, much to my surprise.
What? Anybody not like it for a specific reason?
Right, Steve?
I thought it was okay.
I'm just making the powder, right?
I like the crunchability in there, which is unusual in ice cream. You generally don't find that dense crunch in ice cream. What do you need?
Oh, I got it.
Parfait.
What?
I know it's a parfait.
Parfait?
It's killing you. It was great, wasn't it? Did you hear all the stuff he said this morning beforehand? Boy.
You pay attention to what you're doing.
I've got the knife. Watch what you say about me.
Careful, that might go pop.
Yeah, that's why I'm aiming at a chef.
He's the other way. Fixing it this way.
Oh, sorry.
So Steve just wanted me to do this for him. Everybody's seen Country Time Lemonade, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody, okay. Easy directions, follow them. That's what I'm doing. 2 quarts water, up to the 2 quart line. And voila. Don't hit
Want me
me.
to do that?
No, you obviously didn't hang around the same circles I did. We were taught how to do this when we were 2 years
Yeah,
old.
they taught you to aim it towards the floor? Yeah. Now, did mine do that? No, it didn't.
Didn't lose it. Well,
Do the cork. I'll show you a cork trick.
okay.
You see a cork trick while he's working?
I want the cork.
Okay, you get the cork.
It just came out of the bottle. So if you take them like this and then do this,
2 pounds of sugar.
they're here. Now, can you do that? I'll do it real slow. Even somebody like you could do
Oh,
it.
here we go.
Watch. Very slow, okay? Very slow.
That's okay, go. Go, no, that's good.
Want to try it?
No.
Really? Nobody? Bunch of chickens. You want these?
Yes, sir.
For what?
I put them in a big jug that I have on top of my kitchen counters, like
And then
like a decoration.
If she saves enough of them, she gets a free
ice cream.
a cruise.
Free ice
cruise. Remember the old cigarettes? Save
Yeah.
all your packs of
Yes,
cigarettes,
that's
pay your
right.
cigarette money,
That's right.
and the one day you can take a cruise on it.
Anybody
a
want
cruise
a
to
toast?
Sloan Kettering.
Okay. Sugar.
I'm gonna leave it at 1.5 quarts so it has room for strawberries.
Okay.
I say that, but it's really for me. And then you're good. You just need to puree these. I'll do that for you.
Oh, the machine will do it.
Okay.
Now, which ones? What am I using?
All of that.
This and this? So that's going to be
No,
two.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we've got those ingredients: the sparkling white wine or pink champagne, the Country Time pink lemonade, the strawberries we're going to throw in, and the 2 pounds of sugar. So I'm just going to mix the sugar between the two. It doesn't matter how much I put in each container.
You shouldn't have done that.
Why?
Champagne rises.
Say?
The champagne rises with sugar.
Oh.
Just rose. He looks right behind you.
Okay.
Turn over. Let's go.
We're good.
Where'd my other one go? Look at that. I didn't know that.
Now when
So-
you shake it up.
Let's go ahead and put it in that one, shall we?
Yeah, why not? Now, I don't have to completely dissolve it, but if I just take some of the edge off of that sandpaper, I'm better off.
You guys will really like this one.
Again, check the gate.
Hey, you're back?
Just for the champagne one. You know, apparently I am not that great at this, so. I like to buy the frozen strawberries over fresh because as the berries thaw, they create their own juice and it's very sweet and it works amazing when you make ices or ice creams. And they smell great. I don't know if you can see, maybe. Well, I'll do this.
Okay. I've got all the liquid in there. I'm going to go to the infinite overrun control, make ice cream. Go to the next page where it says Sorbet Sorbetto. Hit start. Turn on the refrigeration. And we're off to the races. Ooh.
I was showing him the juice.
Okay.
Too much?
No, it's just easier in the bag to pour. But
Well, I was
that's
showing
okay.
him the juice. Can you see the juice?
Yeah, you can see right through it.
Huh?
You can see right on the side.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys.
Now, since these are soft, the machine's going to puree them like a Cuisinart. Don't try this with any other machine, but you can't do it. The opening's only that wide, and they do that because they don't want you to put anything into the machine because their beaters and their cylinders aren't strong enough to take it. That's why over 94% of all Italian ice in the world is made on Emery Thompsons, because you're literally making wet cement. You know, we're going to drink it, but it's the consistency of wet cement. Now, doesn't that beat using an extract? Look at that, all fresh stuff.
The main reason to use frozen fruit as opposed to fresh fruit is the consistency year-round. So the mangoes, the peaches, the strawberries, it'll be the same when you make ice cream in January and when you make it when the fruit may be in season in July. So that's why fresh fruit is definitely better. Every bag of fresh fruit, of frozen fruit, is sweet.
And while adding everything in with the refrigeration on, I saved a minute and 34 seconds. You take that over 10 years and it's almost half a day. How about
boy.
that?
Was that a dig this way?
Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. Any questions so far on the recipe? Yes.
Fresh fruit, I've been reading that it's often best to macerate so you don't get the large ice crystals.
The machine's going to grind them up.
Okay,
So no, but
post-production freezing doesn't help them?
Well, I came up with two terms I call fruit flavor and fruit identity. So we might as well use this. Normally, if this was an ice cream, I would put half my strawberries into the machine. I'd let it grind them up like a Cuisinart, and for every particle of dairy, there's going to be a particle of strawberry right next to it. I call that my fruit flavor. If I was blindfolded and tasted it, I'd say, yep, that's strawberry ice cream. I take the blindfold off, and all I see is this pale pink product with little specks of red in it. I go, hey, where's the beef? Where are the strawberries? You can't see them. So I want the identity. We eat with our eyes. We come into the store, we see the ice cream, I want that. Or we see it on a cone. I want what she's having. So my second strawberries, if I was using fresh, I would have cut them into halves and laid them out on a cookie sheet. It's called sugaring the fruit. You lay them out on a cookie sheet and then you sprinkle sugar over the top of them and you throw it in the refrigerator overnight. The moisture in the strawberries will absorb that sugar, and so now those strawberries are sweet. and they're not going to turn into little rocks. Because otherwise, if you've made homemade ice cream with an old hand crank like my grandfather was doing before he invented this thing runs too slow and too long. It takes almost an hour. And so you put fresh strawberries in there, and they're going to freeze up like little marbles because of all the moisture in there. You're biting into a rock. And so by sugaring the fruit, that works well. If you're doing blueberries, you put into a container like this, let's say a small one. You put your blueberries in here, add sugar, a little bit of water, shake it up, and put it in the fridge overnight. Even though they have a thicker skin, the blueberries, they'll absorb that sugar, and now they're sugared, and they're ready to add as it's coming out. So I get the best of both worlds, the fruit flavor and the fruit identity. When other batch freezers make ice cream, and they make strawberry, because they can't put it into the machine, everything, they can either do an extract, which is not the same as strawberries. They have to open the gate partway and shake in the strawberries. They're making vanilla ice cream with strawberries in it. We're making strawberry ice cream that, again, every particle of dairy, a particle of strawberry right next to it. So our flavor is going to be far more intense than anybody else. When I put Reuben Mattis and his mother in business, that was Haagen-Dazs, 6 miles from my Bronx factory. I was only about 22 years old, and they were using all batch freezers, our bigger ones than this, and that's how they began the business. And it was true homemade ice cream. It was spectacular. Then they went national, and we can go up to 250,000 gallons a year with you. After that, you're probably going to buy a continuous freezer, but a continuous freezer is jumping back. You can't put anything into a 1,000-gallon-an-hour continuous freezer except liquid mix. You can put in an extract, no strawberries, no cookies, no nothing. There's a $40,000 machine that attaches to the front, and it injects the cookies. So if you look carefully at Haagen-Dazs, and I mean really carefully, their chocolate chip or their Oreo cookie ice cream is vanilla ice cream with pieces of Oreo injected into it. Nothing can go into the machine. Plus, it makes a whole different texture. And so when you call me up in 10 years and your ego is just really taken over you, and you now want to buy a continuous freezer and get away from what made you successful, the old expression, what got you here won't get you there, like, say, Ample Hills up in New York, they expanded right away from Emery Thompson's, and I warned them, they weren't that big, and they went to continuous freezer, and business goes right downhill because someone walks in and says, hey, you know what, there's nobody in Brooklyn or Los Angeles making old-fashioned ice cream. I think I'll open an ice cream parlor. Meanwhile, Ample Hills was getting wonderful press, and then it was all blown. So, batch freezer.
What kind of overrun does a little hand crank machine like that do?
This will do about 60 to 70% overrun, and not lower. So it's relatively high, especially the ones with the motor. When I was a kid, you had to turn a crank. When I was a kid, you had to walk both ways uphill to school in a snow blizzard. So it's all relative. But this one, yeah, this is fun for about the first 30 seconds when you're 5 years old. And then after that, it gets boring. But this is the exact thing my grandfather was using in 1903. And he was using it to make ice cream for a department store. They didn't have ice cream parlors. They had ice cream was sold at a pharmacy or in the basement of Macy's or Lord & Taylor or Bloomingdale's. You went there for your candy. That's why the affiliation of candy and ice cream. You went for candy, baked goods, and ice cream. And that's how the business began, ours and the ice cream business.
Steve, what do you think of using jam for a favorite jam?
A jam?
Yeah.
I love it. I use Smucker's all the time. I think it's great stuff. I make a peanut butter and jelly ice cream that is Smucker's peanut butter and then Welch's grape jelly, because you can't beat Welch's grape jelly for a PB&J. And it makes a fun ice cream. It's a nice combination. But yeah, rather than go out and buying a big a case like this of butterscotch, I'll go buy butterscotch or caramel Smucker's as I need it. So instead of investing $240 in 3 cases minimum order, I've got 8 jars. And I look and see if they ever go on sale, and then I buy everything they own.
You put it at the end or the beginning or both?
It depends on what I'm making. Salted caramel, I put most of it right into the machine, but you can also warm it up in a double boiler. Microwave's a little dicey. And then just pour it in as a stream. It's called variegating when you're pouring it in. And you can either pour it in, or you can pour in some and then take a spoon and work your way through it. Or you can take a pastry bag and put it right up against here and squeeze. So there's a lot of ways to do it. Jeff has a technique that I haven't perfected where he puts it into here, adds some mix, and then it's real loose and he's pouring it like that. And that'll be, you want to describe that real quick? How to make a variegate? No. Okay. It's in the videos starring Jeff. Okay, we've been 9 minutes and 42 seconds. We're freezing nicely.
How'd you get on variegates making an Italian ice?
I asked about using jam.
Using jams. And I said Smuckers. And
You know,
yes.
one of the... Go ahead.
My question is,
I'm sorry, I can't hear her. I'm sorry?
how much would you say you waste of the product when you're experimenting on it? Like, if you're coming up with a recipe, do you ever just throw the whole batch out because it tastes god-awful?
I really don't experiment. I know that if I know how to make one kind of flavor, it's mathematically going to be the same for the other, only a different taste. As I said this morning, if I can make strawberry, I can make raspberry. I can make Bordeaux cherry.
Yeah, those are singular ones. Like you said, peanut butter and jelly. How did you...
I have some general rules. I'm going to use, they're for a 24-quart machine, the 2-tub machine. I'm going to use about a quart of peanut butter and an equal amount of jelly. And if it's an intense flavor, maybe I'll throttle that back. But pretty much all my stuff is a quart. If I'm using chocolate chips, a quart of them. If it's not quarts, it's pounds. I use two bags or 2 pounds of cookies. You'll develop your own rules, but it's really that simple so that you're not doing a lot of experimenting. Yes?
No, the machine will check it.
Do I want to check it? Huh?
Get the top open on the machine.
That's okay. That's just a dust cover. Doesn't matter if it's open or not. But this is what ice cream's about, is I'm just checking for the consistency. Now, I run into great trouble talking to you and running this because I'm going to get distracted listening to myself talk and saying, you missed this point, you missed that point. And I'm going to forget about that. What you do is you go out and buy a cheap kitchen timer. Here's a neat one that looks like an airplane. And if you know it's going to take about 13 minutes, you set it for, say, 11 minutes. And now you can go do other stuff. This is portable. I can put it in my pocket. You can do it with your iPhone. Or you just have it here. Instead of standing around here talking to you, I'm looking at my next flavor and say, okay, I need this much sugar. Let me go measure it. So I'm measuring the sugar, I'm measuring the water, getting the flavor ready, bell goes off. Oh, I'll go check it. I watch my wife Paula bake, and she sets the timer for a birthday cake for, say, 24 minutes. I've never seen her pull it at 24 minutes. She checks it at 24 and decides, is that particular flavor ready to go or not, makes a decision, and then comes back in a couple of minutes. So it's not a science, it's an art. And it's not even an art, because once you've made about 6 different batches, you can make anything. I will check it. That's almost to peaking, but not there.
Great color.
Yeah, and it's all natural. That's the beauty of it. I mean, and the millennials are so much fun, because a millennial mother, she's 38 years old, she's got her 5-year-old daughter in tow, and they walk into your store and they see this product and they think it's, let's say it's strawberry ice cream. Oh no, you can't have that. That color is red dye 40. Oh no, ma'am, that's from the strawberries. Or if I'm making a cherry Italian ice, there's a company I can buy all natural extracts from, Green Mountain Flavors, Green Mountain Colors, and he takes concentrated beet juice and turns it into a red color. So the mother's going, oh no, you can't have that. That's red dye 40. You, the owner, oh no, ma'am, that's concentrated beet juice. And she looks at you like, you've got 3 eyes, and she says, saying to herself, wow, if they go to all that effort just to color the cherry juice, what's the rest of this store like? It must be fantastic. So you're building your own image by what you're leaving out. Oh, that's real nice. You'll have to tell me how it is.
Do you recommend not using the colors for the ice?
Not today. Not nowadays. Well, I would use these natural ones. He's got blue, green, yellow, Green Mountain flavors. And it's not in Vermont. It's in Illinois. But that part's important because the millennials all know what they're eating. And they're just not going to buy your product if it's artificial in any way, which is great. We can charge more. Okay, I like this. I'm going to turn off the refrigeration switch and out it comes. See how fast that comes out? I think last time I shook that, I knocked it off, didn't I? I should be
Leave it alone.
Yeah, leave it alone. Wow, look at the yield on this one. But that's not a 3-gallon tub. But we're all about speed. We're going to get this done and go on to the next one because I want to get back to my lounge chair, have a beer, and turn on Oprah. So I'm all about, my machines are all about efficiency. Now, I go to the next flavor, which is darker than this, so maybe Bordeaux cherry, and it'll cover over any small amount that's in here. And just because I got a little strawberry in with the Bordeaux cherry, they're both fruits, it's not going to make a difference. And then I'll go to black raspberry, and then I'll call it a day. So, let's try this. You got to let me know because it's got champagne, I can't have it. I'll scoop it. Let me get the scoop.
What'd you call me?
Huh? Christy says this is great. She made it at home, so we'll see. And if you want seconds, you can have it.
Yes.
I have a question. I guess it's more for Steve. Your tray that's on that smaller sheet, the 350.
Yeah.
Is that how it is on the current design, or 'cause
Yeah.
I noticed you have braces on the other ones, and it's a little more sturdy.
It's all dependent on the size of the container. We're using 2 to 4 tubs on the bigger one. This is perfectly sturdy. I'm sorry it fell off, but again, it's a 12-year-old machine. I should check the hooks on it. But we do not have a problem with that falling off. If we did, we would redesign it, but it works beautifully because sometimes you just want to make things simple. You want to make them as simple as possible because simple doesn't break. And besides, I don't want to be shipping stands, shelves all over the world. So, but
What was the temperature you will hold this at? As a storage and as to sell it.
I'm not going to sell this. Let's say I have an ice cream parlor, and I'm not going to sell this now till next Wednesday, next Saturday. I'm going to take it down to about 0 to 10 below.
Come on, scoop.
All right, 0 to 10 below, and then I'm going to temper it back up overnight to a scooping temperature of 16.
Steve, I have a question regarding that. So, the Department of Health sent me a lovely 600-page book on rules and regulations, and in there it states that all frozen desserts have to be stored and kept at 0 degrees, which is fine for storage, but not for serving. How do you?
I think if you read it more carefully, it'll say a minimum of 0 degrees. 0 degrees is nothing. We like to go 20. This specialty freezer behind me called a hardening cabinet goes to 25 below and stays there. That's what makes it so unique.
I'm talking about serving temperature. You just said 16.
Serving temperature, well,
they'd say it has to be 0.
This stuff will be. You'll need a hammer and chisel to serve at 0.
That's
so
my question.
you got it. Well, you got to read the what it says. If they are specifically saying ice cream, there are no standards for ices. I've got the federal book on that. There aren't any standards, but it's all common sense. All you have to do is say to yourself, I can't scoop a product that's a rock. So obviously 0 doesn't work. So it's wrong. It's just flat out wrong. And when you talk to the inspector, I don't even think they'll ever bring it up. If it's not liquid, what they're worried about is it's melted. And you're serving a liquid product, but you can't sell this as a liquid product. More?
More. 3 more.
Okay.
Want me to do it?
No, I just don't have room on the
How long can you
thing.
freeze the ice cream mix? How long can you store it
4.
in the freezer?
For what?
Forever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I do. We only do this every other month, and I don't make ice cream other than this.
It's frozen.
It's frozen.
And it's harder than cement.
Yeah. It freezes very nicely.
That chamber behind you, that refrigerator, how many does it hold? How many gallons does it hold at the bottom and the top?
It holds 24 of those big tubs, or hundreds of pints.
24 of them at the bottom and the top?
Yeah, the whole thing in total holds all that. I have a video on it that's on YouTube, or I can send it to you.
Jeff holds the 1 gallon, so we'll hold what? Double that, 50 of them?
Oh,
This
thanks.
is 3 gallons.
Now
So
we're almost done.
multiply it times 3.
Well, you know, better late than
About
never.
75 containers. But it's not a holding freezer. It's called a flash freezer, a hardening cabinet. You can take any box and have it go to 10 below, 15 below, even 20 below. But this is what we would call a warm product. This is about 19 degrees. If I put 50 gallons of 19 degrees into your freezer, the temperature is going to skyrocket up because your box was meant for me to bring home frozen pizzas, frozen green beans, and solid as a rock ice cream. So all the cabinet has to do is hold it like that. We're asking to take this from plus 19 down to minus 25 and hold it there where it won't deteriorate for 6 months or a year. So that's a specialty freezer. There's only about 3 on the market, and this is the best one.
And the serving temperature of the ice cream is?
So you say,
6.
so put it in there and hold it in there, I mean, to flash it, to freeze it, but then transfer it over to your storage?
No, this is my inventory, not unless I need it. This is my inventory. It could stay in here for months.
Okay, so.
But if I'm going to need double this capacity, it's all hard as a rock, 25
that's what you transfer
below.
over.
I now put it into the chest freezer, which is at 10 below. It's also hard as a rock, and the chest freezer doesn't have to do any work at all. It's just because it received 25 below zero product. If it took 20 plus 20 product and had to pull it down, it'll fail.
Throat freeze.
Yeah? How is
Good
it?
though. Very good.
Everybody
Great
like it?
Strawberry flavor.
Any differences, improvements?
No, that's a good one.
Oh, good. All right. I'll tell Christy. All right, Jeff. Yes.
Sparkling wine, just regular wine?
Yes. Regular wine is flat, and sparkling wine has carbonation in it, carbon dioxide. Champagne is a whole different product.
I know, I'm not putting on wine, like the taste of ice cream, like they make it different.
No, because think of what you're doing. You're taking a bottle of, let's say, a really good champagne, maybe a Mont Blanc, and you're putting it into the product. What is the majority of what's in here? Sugar, water, and strawberries. The wine is very little in there. So if I use a $50 bottle versus a $5 bottle, you'll never taste the difference. If I served it to you in a champagne glass, yeah, big difference. So you don't need to go out and buy expensive champagne. Nothing will change. No. They're both carbonated. Yes.
Alcohol permit to sell it?
Every state has its law. It was a big success. How about a round of applause for the creator? All right, Christy.